Hi everybody. I shared a lamp story with another creator. She told it amazingly. I'm going to tag her. Seriously, go check out her channel. You'll love it. But I couldn't find the video that she did on my story in YouTube, so I came back to TikTok and I wanted to just address some of the questions in the comments just to kind of like give it a blanket statement if anybody comes here and they want to like get more of an explanation. So yes, all of this was diagnosed as postpartum psychosis. It wasn't the only reason, but it was like the tipping point. Okay, it was the thing that started it all. I'm going to get more into that at the end. I'm going to answer some other questions first though. So I do agree. A lot of women dream about having babies of the opposite gender, especially in my case where I have 4 boys. The thing was, this was a one-time situation. Didn't have it any other time. That was one question. Any other time though, I had a dream where I had a daughter, I would never be able to touch her. Like somebody else had her and was handing her to me, and then I would wake up. That was the only time that I was able to change, feed, clothe her. Another take that good possibility. This baby in the other life, other timeline, whatever, was a twin that I had and lost. That is a very interesting take, especially just because my 3rd pregnancy was a twin pregnancy, but I miscarried one of the twins. We don't know the gender because it was so early on. It was at like about 6 weeks. I thought I just had like a messed up period because we were in a really stressful situation. And this child is about to turn 9 next month. And he's had quite a few very vivid dreams himself of his twin. We gave the twin the name Skylar just because it was gender neutral, because it was way too early to tell. And he's had many dreams about his twin, who apparently was a boy and had very blonde hair, which could be, but Estrella had black hair. The other thing too was the name. There's nothing wrong with Estrella, but we picked out a name in this life that carried on with all of our other kids. Because of our own heritage, we liked the name Natalia, except we read it wrong as Natalia, and we ended up liking Natalia more than the actual name. So we were planning on changing the spelling to help people see Natalia, and yeah, it just kind of stuck. So I think that was the thing that really started to tip off that something was wrong, was because it was like my husband was like, no, you really don't like this name, do you? You don't really like this name. You should pick this different name. And it's like, we sat here for 2 hours looking on your phone. So a lot of focus though was on my husband and also on the mourning process of this. Now, I'm going to be honest, I noticed pretty dang quickly that I was never getting my husband back. So I was missing the baby more than I was missing him. And my real earth side, whatever you want to call it, husband that I actually have, he knew that I was very mentally unwell. He knew I was very mentally unwell. So he has never held this against me. He's never brought it up. If anything, it's kind of like he just believes it was something that my mind did. Oh, and I just thought of this. We didn't have a headboard. I didn't hit my head and get the goose egg on a headboard. I was actually like a little bit lower in the bed. So I was like on the bottom half of the pillow. And that's where the egg was like on the bottom half of the pillow. I wasn't even like up close towards the wall. I don't know. Somebody said seizures. I'm not sure about that either, to be honest, because some of my POTS episodes have looked like seizures. And in Colorado, where this happened, I was undiagnosed. So I was still having episodes and randomly having to go to the hospital for fluids, and my heart was doing dumb crap. I'm not going to rule it out, but I've never formally been diagnosed with seizures. It's just some of my episodes look like seizures. So I'm not going to say that it was. I don't think it was. I think that's a good take, a good possibility, but in my case, I don't think so. So there was a lot of like concern about my relationship and what my husband and I are like now. Just overall on this topic, my husband was brought up a lot. So we've been together 13 years now. The child that was wrapped in blue actually just turned 6. So weirdly enough, this is pretty much exact timeline now that it was exactly 6 years ago. Now, here's the thing. Postpartum psychosis wasn't fully diagnosed because of the dream. Okay, this is like getting into both of those together. Postpartum psychosis came about for how I reacted to the dream. It wasn't the dream itself, even though that is kind of weird. You know, the whole thing was kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say it was normal. So that was like, that could just be a very vivid dream because you're very tired. Ew, what do you mean you're hypervigilant on this child, and you're choosing to not take care of yourself because you believe if you leave the child alone for even a minute, the other you is going to show up and refuse to give your daughter back? Oh. I was walking around for the better part of 2 weeks telling myself that I could not leave him alone for even a minute, even with a trusted adult, because we lived with my mother-in-law. She was home like almost all the time the first couple months. And my husband worked nights. So it's like I could put him in the bassinet while my husband's asleep, go take care of myself. But I refused to do that because I had to take really good care of him, or the other me wouldn't give my daughter back. That came about from the dream. Now, around this time that I am, mourning the daughter that I lost and mourning the life that I had, I also had to go through something in this life. Please keep in mind, this is a closed subject between my husband and I. It's closed and dead subject, okay? It is just part of the story. A lot of people always come for me. I'm the controlling bitch. Okay. So we knew that postpartum depression at least was going to fucking punch me in the face. So while I was pregnant with our fourth son, my husband and I agreed that we were done and he was going to get a vasectomy. The doctor's office couldn't get off their ass and get it scheduled in time. So it ended up being while I was 2 weeks postpartum, right around the time that I had this dream. So I am already mentally not okay. I also had a prolapse. So we couldn't have sex or do anything for another 2.5 to 3 months anyway. I am constantly losing my mind, and I'm not taking care of myself, and I'm not doing well, and I have to wait until I can get in to see the doctor, which still took about a week or two, just because of availability. My husband did not see 2 of our other births, so he did not know how different the 4th birth was. Long story, it's okay. I'm not mad about it. My 4th pregnancy was really rough. I had pretty bad gestational diabetes. My baby was foot-lung breech, so they had to do a version. They had to push so hard that my stomach was blue and purple at the end of it. They induced me 2 days later. Obviously, those bruises haven't gone away. They did the Foley balloon and they did Pitocin, and I didn't have time for pain meds. My midwife let me eat, so on top of that, I'm puking. And then my son got stuck and she had her hands inside me holding me open. Yeah, I didn't handle that one very well. I ain't gonna lie with you. I didn't handle that one well. And neither did he by default. And he wanted to make sure that I never went through something like that again. So he was hell-bent that he was getting that vasectomy. I begged and I pleaded. I was just like, look, you can still get it. I'm not saying you can't still get it. Insurance will still cover it. The price will still be the same. It's still your body, your choice. But can you wait until I get on some motherfucking meds and start going to therapy? No. And then he came home and joked about it, that he didn't even want to get it. But I'm still the problem. I get it. However, when you're already head deep in postpartum depression and getting diagnosed with postpartum psychosis, something that makes it a million times worse is not a good thing. I know I was out of my goddamn mind. Do you think I don't hear myself when I say the other me? It's a closed subject, but I started going down a very, very dark path, and it just so happened that it started with that dream. So, I'm mourning. I'm missing my other child. I'm hypervigilant on this child. I have 3 more kids that I feel like I suddenly don't even know how to take care of because in the other life I only had 1. So here I'm like, oh yeah, I know how to do this. I know how to be a parent to these older children. That's what also helped contribute to the postpartum psychosis, is because I started going very far and very hard and really, really, really wishing that the other me would give my daughter back. It's a very long story, okay? But I'll post this on YouTube as well, so you can ask questions if you have any more.